All right, Jonathan, I'm about to go house shopping, and I've been hearing you talk about this 10-day closing program. Why does that matter to me as a buyer?
Well, the important thing, Austin, is you're going to work with a great agent. It's going to help you find an awesome house, but you want to get that house. You want to win that house, and the 10-day is how we help you win that house. So we want to be part of your offer strategy.
All right, let's break that down. Okay, so before we jump into breaking down how the 10-day can be a part of your offer strategy, if you're a realtor or buyer out there right now, let's just address the reality of the situation.
Tough market right now.
It's an insanely tough market right
now.
Tough market. It's on fire. We've got people that have been looking for homes for months, and every deal right now just seems to be like a crazy multi-offer situation.
Inventory is super low in Houston. I mean, I've heard agents say there's 30 showings in the first weekend of my listing going active.
Yeah, it's nuts. And so when we're talking about the 10-day program, guys, this is, like Jonathan said, part of your offer strategy. So we want to be a part of that, not just figuring out how you're going to finance the home on the back end. We'll figure that out once you go under contract. But the 10-day is part of the offer strategy to help you get those deals.
Yeah.
So let's break it down. Are you 10-day ready? Are you? Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. So Jonathan, what are the different ways that they can use a 10-day offer? I think the first is obvious, right? A multi-offer situation. How does that help?
Exactly. You never know the seller's situation. So when they're getting tons of offers, you always hear this from our realtors, like, how do I help position my buyer's contract or offer in the best possible way? And your agent can give you tons of great nuggets with option periods, earnest money, and all that stuff. But one of the big things you can do that your lender can help is on that closing date. So if you put in an offer where it's like, we're going to close in 10 business days, and all the other offers are 30 days, 45 days, and the seller might have already vacated the house. So every day is costing money with taxes, insurance, electricity.
Mortgage.
Yeah, they might have a mortgage on it. And so being able to close fast saves that seller money. And so it kind of helps your offer be here, and then the 10-day kind of moves your offer to the top.
Yep, 100%. So that's the big one. And obviously that's the situation that we're addressing right now with this video. I mean, for example, it's February right now as we're shooting this.
Yep.
Early February. And I'm hearing about offers from other people with their lenders for deals that they're trying to close in April because they can't even get it done in March. We're talking about still closing stuff in February.
That's right.
That's the game changer. All right, aggressive offer price. This, if you can find a situation, break this down.
Yeah, so right now this one might be a little hard because of the inventory, but historically we've seen the 10-day help a lot get an aggressive offer price. So if a house has been on the market 30, 40, 50 days, again, maybe that seller is vacated and you're like, man, I found the right house, but now how do I get it for the best price possible? Yep. That 10-day, boom, is almost as good as cash. Because if you're going to buy a house for cash, most buyers agents would tell you, hey, let's go in 5 or 10% below list price because we're cash. We're going to close in 7 or 10 days because that's typically what cash will close in. Right. But a 10-day closing is a financed offer, but it's still good as cash because we'll close you in 10 days.
Close it just as fast.
So we've seen sellers be very willing to come down 5 or 10% on a list price. Might not see that in this environment because of the inventory, but historically the 10-day has shined a lot on helping people get a great purchase price down from list on that.
Yep. All right. This is a favorite of realtors, especially on the listing side of things. More time. What does this mean?
Absolutely. This one's for that first-time home seller, somebody selling their home. The equity in their house is going to be used to buy the next house, and they don't want to have to move multiple times. They want to be able to sell their house and then go put another house under contract and try to close on the purchase right around the time to close on it sell. Well, if your home for sale is closing in 30 days and the lender you're working with says, well, to close on your new house, I'm going to need 30 days, you literally got to get under contract that next house within 24 hours.
Yeah.
And that is a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety with that.
And the right house might not be available.
And exactly, the right house might be available. But if you're using a 10-day, well, we just gave you 20 days back. So that's almost 3 weeks that you can get your house for sale under contract that's closing in 30 days and give yourself, 2 to 3 weeks to look, and maybe the right house will pop up. And so a lot of breathing room so you're not as stressed to find the next house.
Yep. I love that. Okay, this one's super cool. I think this one gets overlooked a lot. Backup offers. Let's break that down.
Yeah, so we're not going to explain a whole lot what a backup offer is, but in a nutshell, if a home is pending, you're like, they accepted an offer. Well, your agent can walk you through the backup offer process, but you can put in a backup offer. But the other buyers have first position on that house, the first opportunity to buy
They're
the
under
house.
contract. You're not.
Exactly. So that first set of buyers might be under contract in the option period, and the seller, say today's February 1st, say February 28th is when those buyers are supposed to close on a house, but they're cold feet. They might be, uncertain about some of the things. Look, you're buying an older home, it's used, and they might be trying to throw the kitchen sink at the sellers. Like, we want $10,000, we want all this stuff fixed. And the sellers see that they got a backup offer. That's a 10-day closing from the second set of buyers. Like, wow,
For full price. This house is closed sooner.
This house is closing February 15th. And so that first set of buyers, the sellers might be like, we have a backup offer for the same price, and they're closing 2 weeks before you close. And so the sellers might be like, I'm not gonna, all those small things that you're trying to take advantage of us for, we're just gonna not give you that. And the buyers might back out of the contract, and then boom, your backup offer is in the first seat position.
Contract. Yep. And we've seen this happen several times.
Yeah, twice. Twice in the last year.
Yeah.
I can remember examples. So.
Yeah. So don't lose hope if your ideal home just went under contract.
Put a backup offer in. Yep.
All right. And then this is the reason why the program actually started in the first place. Switching lenders. This one always gets me.
Yeah, maybe you decided, you bank with one of the big banks and you're like, I'm just going to get my mortgage through them, and something happens. They have a very narrow guideline in underwriting on a specific issue, and they tell you like, hey, we can't get your loan done because of this issue. Here at Network Funding, we have 1,000 loan programs and 35 plus investors we work with. We have tons.
We have some options.
We had tons of options for you. But the issue is you found out 20 days in your contract that now you can't get a loan from that bank, and you're like, well, the sellers and I signed a contract that I'm closing in 10 days. What the heck do we do? And it's like, well, you can flip to us. We can get you in the right loan program, and we can still get you closed on the same contract that you initially signed.
Yeah. Assuming you qualify.
Assuming you qualify.
But we got a lot more options, so you got a good chance of that. So we just want to break it down. These are the scenarios where you would use a 10-day offer. And like Jonathan said at the beginning, if you didn't catch it, the first thing you got to do is you got to find the right house. But once you find the right house, you actually have to get that house under contract.
Yeah, you got to win it.
So this is part of that strategy. Get the right house, get it under contract, and get it under contract for the right terms. And so that's what we're here for. We love the 10-day. I'm always amazed when people don't use the 10-day when they qualify for it. For me, if I find something I want to buy, I would like to go ahead and buy it, please. This is kind of like the Amazon of mortgage experience.
Yeah, and like what Austin said, it helps you get the most favorable conditions with that contract. Why not? So.
And we love it because we're built for speed. And so we love being able to, do what we are built to do, and that's close fast. And so, y'all, it's a crazy market out there. I'll leave you with one last example. It's going to make the video a little longer, but listen. So we've had a client that came in, their ideal house hit the market. That day, they reached out to us to apply. They qualified for a 10-day, but they didn't get their application in until late that afternoon. We talked at night, got it all set. Next day, they go to put an offer in, and guess what?
House is already in contract.
It's already gone. Wow. And so the point of this video is for you guys to be thinking, let's make sure you're 10-day ready. The market's too hot right now to sit around and wait for that right house to come out before you jump into the boat to figure out if you're 10-day ready. Get 10-day ready now. Let's be thinking about it. Let's get pre-qualified. Let's take all that stress off the table so that when the right house hits the market, you can be the first one in the door with that pre-qual letter saying, hello, I'd like to close in 10 days.
Boom.
That's it.
So
give us a shout. We'll get you home fast. We'll see you guys around.